I have no idea whether this business model will work for me. When people are looking for some side hustle ideas, side income, starting that business, that's the biggest barrier they have. And so I want to help you figure that out for local newsletters. By the end of this video, I want you to know whether local newsletters are the right business for you to do in terms of the money it's going to take you to get started. So this is our local newsletter break-even calculator. I'm going to show you how this works. I'm going to walk you through the numbers. I'm going to show you the things you have to pay for. I'm going to talk to you about, where we can cut some costs for you, but you can still start your local newsletter. I'm going to run through the whole thing. I don't plan on skipping anything. This might be a slightly longer video. If you're interested in one-time startups, the monthly recurring, the revenue inputs, how you're going to make that money back, use the chapters down below. If you want to play with this, put break even in the comments. So when you're going to start any kind of local newsletter or online business for yourself, then you're going to have some startup costs. And these startup costs are going to be for the local newsletter, but they're also fairly standard for any kind of online business that you are going to start. So the one-time startup costs we've got are in this list here. I'm just going to point out as well that this is our break-even clock. So as we change these numbers, you're going to see this change as well. And this is going to tell you how quickly you can recover your money. So we've pre-populated this with some sensible numbers as a starting point. Like I said, I'm going to move these sliders so you can get an idea. Our monthly revenue, our monthly expenses, and then our monthly profit. So you can figure out how quickly you're going to make your money back. Now, obviously, you might not be making money from day one, but I will talk to you when we get down here, revenue inputs, about how you can get some of the money back very, very quickly from, the first week. So the first thing you need to be able to do when starting your business is we need to file for an LLC, or we need to make you an official business. Now, you don't need to do this within the first couple of weeks of starting your newsletter. You will want to do it at some point, but you don't have to straight away, because you can go online. There's two tools that we recommend, one to write your newsletter, one so you can send your newsletter. I'll talk to you about those when we get down to the monthly recurring costs. But you can actually get started in the first couple of weeks without forming an official business. But if you did want to do that from day one, you're looking at around about $150. If you figure out for yourself personally it's more or less, you can slide this up and down. You're going to want a business bank account. Again, you don't need anything fancy, just a very simple bank account. You can get those for free as well. The next thing you're going to need to consider is a domain registration. So let's say you live in Fairfax. You might want to start a newsletter called the Fairfax Buzz. That might be the name of your local newsletter. And so you might want that as your web address, www.fairfaxbuzz.com. But you don't actually have to have that. Now, domains vary in price. Basically, if you're going for something that lots of people are searching or is quite simple, it will cost you more. If you're going for something that not many people are searching for, it's going to be less. So if I wanted to call something, with your name and then your business, so Jack's Plumbing, it's probably already gone, but that was going to be quite popular, so it's going to cost a bit more. If you went for a name that was Jack's Plumbing in Fairfax, nobody else is going to want that, so you can get it super, super cheap. So you don't actually need a domain from the first day. And the reason for that is that when you're going to use the platform that's going to send out your newsletter, they will give you a domain. You can still have the name of the newsletter in it, so Fairfax Buzz, but they will give you one. So we can actually leave that cost for later. Brand identity and logo. Now, you can go onto a website like Fiverr, or you can get Canva and you can design it yourself. What we do is we use AI tools to do it. We actually have a training on this, how to use AI to design your logo. If you want that, just put logo down in the comments. I can send you that training over. So if you're going to get it professionally done on a site like Fiverr or Upwork, it's probably going to cost you $100. If you do it yourself for free in Canva, or you're using AI, again, free tools, we can start off with this completely for free. And then later, if you want to register your logo, you want to get it redone, then you can completely do that. Okay. The next thing is marketing materials. Now, when you start with your local business, your local newsletter business, you'll probably want to walk around your area. So if you live in Fairfax, that's where you're going to be starting your newsletter. You're probably going to want to walk around, put some flyers out, some business cards. Please, I beg you, put QR codes on these. If there's one piece of advice for all your business cards, all your flyers, please put your QR codes on them. Send them straight to your local newsletter homepage. You might end up getting a hat, a t-shirt, something like that. Again, we don't have to do this from day one, but if you want to and you know how much you want to invest, you can just use the slider here. You can add the amount, and as you can see, these numbers will change, but we don't need to do this from day one. And then we need PO box and virtual addresses. So again, this is just so that you've got everything registered. You could use a physical address. That would be absolutely fine to start off with. And then you might want to bring this in later. But again, you don't need this from day one. The first couple of weeks, we can cut that down. And if we wanted to as well, we could take the LLC down all the way as well. So let's say you get yourself at a virtual address for $30 because you want everything registered. You've got to have that for your LLC. Let's imagine that you do want to go away and get yourself a domain. That's going to cost you $20. You're going to use AI in order to be able to create your logo. So you really don't need that. And then let's say you go out there and you spend $50 on some flyers that you're going to put around your local area and some business cards that you're going to hand out. Okay. So at the moment, our total startup costs, we're looking at $250. Is it $250? Yeah, $250 at the moment. So now let's go down to our monthly recurring costs, because we are going to need to use a little bit of software. So the first thing we're going to use is we need an email platform. This is the platform. This is the software that we're going to use, where we're going to put our newsletter and it's going to get sent out to everybody on our email list. Now you've got a few options: Beehive, Ghost, Substack. Don't waste your time researching them. Just start with Beehive. Beehive is a free account. Beehive will let you get your first 2,500 subscribers on your local newsletter without you spending a penny. Once you start making money, it does get a little bit more expensive. So you can just increase this as you go. You might decide you want to go straight on their paid plans from day one. So you could set that up. But like I said, it is completely free for you to get your first 2,500 subscribers on Beehive. And it's just a really, really simple and easy to use platform. If you go on their pricing page, you're going to see loads and loads of fancy stuff about AI, and they have this thing called Boost. You don't really care about that. That's great for if you were a creator, you had some kind of tech newsletter or finance, startups, that kind of thing. For a local newsletter, there's not a lot of bells and whistles on Beehive that you're interested in. You just want a reliable service where you can put your newsletter. They're going to put it on website for you. So like we said up here, you don't need to worry about the domain from day one. So let's just take that off for now. And they're going to send it out to your email list for you. And they're going to do all of that kind of stuff. So you do need an email platform. Go with Beehive. The next option for you is a newsletter generator. So you can go out there manually and find everything you want to put into your newsletter. And then you can use AI tools to help you write it. That's probably going to take you somewhere to be between 2 to 5 hours. If you use a newsletter generator, that can cut your costs massively. So Flux Local is an example of a newsletter generator. You just literally type in your location and how long you want Flux Local to look for things to put in your newsletter for. So the weekend or the next 7 days or that day. And you click a button and it will find all the events going on in your local area within the time frame you gave it. You just click the ones you want and it writes your newsletter. And then you just take your newsletter from Flux Local and you cut and paste it into Beehive. And then you schedule it. So if you want it to go out on Thursday at 6 a.m., just in Beehive, that's what you pick. You just click Thursday, 6 a.m., and it will get sent out for you. So these two combined are amazing. Now, Flux Local does have a free tier, but it's really only designed for you to test it out. You could probably get like your first 2 issues written for free with Flux Local, and then you need to pay. It's either a $59 one-time fee for their cheapest lifetime deal, but it is limited. There's not an unlimited number of Flux local lifetime deals available. Or if you prefer, you can go on the $25 a month plan. But you can see very quickly within 3 months, you're spending more than if you had bought the lifetime. And the lifetime comes with a course, it comes with a community, it comes with a growth and monetization playbook specifically written for local newsletters. It comes with a lot of extra bells and whistles. If you want to know more about that, just put the word course in the comments or use the link in the description. Flux Local is the software we built to help write our local newsletters, and we're giving it to you guys to be able to use. $25 a month, or like I said, lifetime deals. There's 3 of them. The first one starts at $59, one-time fee. So let's imagine you're paying monthly for that. Local events research. You might decide you want to sign up to some things. So you might want to sign up to some local news websites, some research tools, something like that. I'm just going to take that out for now because you could do it all manually, or you could get AI to search for you. Then there's stock photos and Canva. You're going to need some digital assets and images to help you design your ads. Now, I use a piece of software called Galaxy for this. It's amazing. It's an AI tool. It's actually 5,000 AI tools. And you only have to pay about $90 a year for it. And they give you millions of credits every month. So it's insane. I'll leave a link to that down in the description as well. But that's what I use. I don't use Canva anymore. I use Galaxy AI. So I'm just going to drop this down slightly to about $10. I pay once at the beginning of the month. And it's a great place for me to test things out, and then I can decide if I want to build my own automation for a particular job, or I just keep doing it in Galaxy. So let's just drop that down to 10 a month. And then we've got some miscellaneous stuff. So if you host your own website, you want to put everything on your own domain or website, you've got to pay hosting, security, those kind of things. Because we're going to go with the free option, we're not going to buy our own domain, we're going to just use the free domain we get on Beehive. I'm just going to move that down as well. But you might think of other things you want to pay for. Maybe you've got like ChatGPT Pro or something like that. Then that's what that slider is for. So our expenses at the moment, starting off, are $35. And if you're willing to pay the $59 one-time fee, then that could even get even less. And you could just be paying for Galaxy. And if you didn't want to do that, then you could use some AI tools. There's tools out there that have a free trial. You get limited credits, but you could find some of those tools to do it that way. But the amount of time that you're swapping between tools to get free credits, I would just get something like Galaxy, to be honest. So at the moment, you can see our monthly recurring costs to get started can start off really, really low. And then, as I said, if you just put into the comments the word break even, I can send you this and you can play with all the sliders and figure out how long it's going to take you to get your money back. Now, inputs, how we're going to get money coming in the door. Well, let's say that you have got your newsletter, first issue written, and we're getting in subscribers organically. Okay, this doesn't take into account your Facebook ads if you're running those, but let's just say it's organic. So what you've done, you've contacted friends and family, you put some posts up on Facebook groups, you put some stuff up on Reddit, and you've got your first subscribers. You know, you can easily get to your first 500 subscribers without even touching Facebook ads. Let's imagine you're going to sell an ad slot, right? So we're at 500 subscribers. Let's just be really conservative. Let's knock this down. Let's say you're going to ask for $35. Let's say that you're going to, let's say $40. One ad slot per week. So you're going to go to one company. You're going to offer them $40 for one ad a week for 4 issues. Okay, so $40 times 4, you're going to charge them $160. And with that money, you're going to put the same ad in for a month. Don't run an ad just once. It just doesn't have the conversion. People need to see an ad more than once. So running for a month is good, a good guide. If I wanted to drop this down even further, I could drop it down to $20. I wouldn't go, it goes down to $25. Wouldn't go any lower than that, to be honest. That's $100. So you go to a business and say, look, give me $100. I got 500 people on my list. I'm going to put your ad at the top of my newsletter for 4 weeks. That's just $25 a week. I've got 500 people on my list. They're going to see your business. There'll be a link there. They can click straight through to your business. And at the end of the month, I can tell you how many people clicked that link. And I can tell you how many people got sent over to your website. Now, if you live in the local area, if you live in Fairfax or wherever we're talking about, you probably know somebody in your network. You probably know a business owner, somebody, a friend, family member that will give you $100 in exchange for this. You already have that know, like, and trust factor. What you can do as well is you can then go out into your local area and start talking to businesses and offer this. You can start DMing, emailing people and asking if they're interested. But if you do this, then you can see it's only going to take you, at that price, 3.5 months for you to be able to get your money back. We can cut even more. So let's say we decide we don't want to start with the marketing materials, then that would go down even more. So you can see very quickly you're making that money back. This isn't going to take 3 years. It's not going to take 5 years. It's not going to take 12 months. It's only going to take a couple of months. And then if you've got one person in your network paying you £100 for a month in order to be able to advertise in your newsletter. If you can get 2 people to do that, it will take you even less time, 1.1 months to do that. Just 2 people in your local area of all of the hundreds of businesses and all the people that you know to pay you $100 each. If you can get 3 people, it's going to take you even less time. So you can see straight away, these numbers are very, very manageable. You're not talking about months and months and months. If you would like to play with this yourself, just put Breakeven down below. You can run the numbers yourself. If you've got any questions, that is what the comments are for. We will get back to you. Hopefully this was helpful. If you want us to make any other videos, just let us know in the comments. I'll see you in the next one.